My next guest is a soul astrologer and channel. She channels different consciousness, and the Palladians are one of them. Please welcome to the show, Gaia Earth Star.
Hello. So good to see you.
Good seeing you, Gina.
Welcome, welcome, and have a seat.
Thank you.
And I am so glad you are with us today so that we get to share your gifts and what you have been given to do on this planet at this time. So I would just love for everyone to hear from your mouth, from your lips, exactly what it is you do.
Well, I do have connection to the cosmic mind, source, the galactic sun. There's many names for the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, what I do, it's basically I have this connection to the invisible. So I'm very, how would I say that? I'm very aware and I'm really comfortable with it.
Good, yes.
Okay, so the shadow side, I don't have, it's easier for me to tune into it, and therefore help others, tune into their self-limiting beliefs, false concepts about who they are. Because as you know, the time on the planet right now, planet Earth, is a party time.
A party time.
It is a party time.
Party time. You heard it from Gaia Earth Star. It's party time. So what does that mean?
It means that the soul is rising. Okay, so the spirit is rising. Again, however you want to call it, Kundalini rising, our energy that connects us back to source, whatever it means for us. I stress the fact, I say there's many names to the same thing because it has no, what I do, there is no belief system really. It's just an energy, it's neutral. You can also call it, I channel the vibration of unconditional love. It's a neutral space on a scientific base. I would say life is meaningless. We give it meaning.
Yes.
Right? Everything is neutral. The heart space is the neutral space. So right now on planet Earth, this is the space we're asked to live in. Which is why it's a party, because the soul is longing for that time.
Yes.
And I have been given from many other lifetimes. Also, I have many lifetimes in Tibet. So I mastered astrology at the time. So I didn't have to study in this life. It just basically was activated. And we're all being activated, willingly or not. And a lot of people are feeling the change in their lives.
I would agree with that. I've had so many conversations with so many different people on different levels, from different walks of life, and even those who don't even necessarily consider a spiritual or, soul side of life or God or energy or anything. And they are all experiencing, there's almost this consistent story that's kind of running through where a lot of people are experiencing major shifts going on for themselves.
Yes.
So that's part of the party, huh?
That is part of the party.
Even though it doesn't feel like the party for a lot of the folks, right? Because a lot of the stories are not so fun.
Right.
So
because, and I will bring a little bit of astrology here. We have Saturn, the planet of, we call it karma. But again, people, might think about karma like, oh my God, what did I do?
Right.
It's just cleansing you. Whatever is not serving you, Saturn will show you where you sabotage yourself. I am not successful. Why are you not successful? Where you do not believe in yourself. Saturn right now is doing this work in Scorpio, the sign of rebirth, the sign of looking at your shadow side. So you can shine the light. So there is no such thing as just light. Light do not exist without the darkness. We need
both
that
sides.
Exactly. But from that duality, which we've experienced for eons of time on planet Earth, we come to that unity consciousness, to unconditional love vibration, to the neutral space, neutral mind.
Okay.
So So Saturn in Scorpio is helping everybody. And it is very important to know where it is in your chart right now.
Okay.
Because that's where this massive building force that is Saturn. Saturn will end what does not serve you and will give you the strength to build that strong foundation so you can rise and live through that spirit, through that soul, through your highest excitement.
Yes.
Through your authentic self.
And I think that's what a lot of people are experiencing without knowing that, though, right?
Exactly.
So they're just feeling a lot of things ending. I've heard
Yes.
so many stories of lots of people, jobs lost, marriages ended, all sorts of things ending, and it
Yes.
doesn't feel good. And so people get very, very afraid, or they're really
Yes.
feeling quite tossed and torn and feeling that they're really struggling. But if they could know that
Yes.
this is part of this is part of what's
Of the
happening right now.
cycle.
This is part of the
Yeah.
cycle, and actually work with it,
Exactly.
right? So that to
Exactly.
me is where astrology in general is. If we can understand
Yes.
what's going on, we can actually work with it instead of just feeling jostled about by all.
Yes, you can ride the wave instead of being under the wave.
Ooh,
But
that's
I
a
would
good analogy,
I would
yeah.
add, that soul astrology go deeper
Yes.
than just general astrology.
Yes.
That's your newspaper astrology. You don't want to look at
Or
your
your
newspaper
online,
astrology
right?
right now. This
Right
is not
now.
where you want to go. You want to go to soul, astrology, evolutionary astrology, which connects to the all of existence of who you are authentically, your soul, your
Right.
spirit. And why I say soul astrology very important right now, because you have heard, it's about remembering. We live in a time and space where we need to remember.
Yes. What are we remembering?
And the soul, has all the information you need. That's why you need to have this. Through soul astrology, you connect to why you came here.
Okay.
This is as deep as that.
Okay.
Your
purpose.
Through your north node. That's
Aha.
the soul destiny. Okay. This is my compass in soul astrology. This is the compass, not the focus, because then you look at the present chart
Right.
and you see where the energy are triggering the person. So we want to be in the now.
Okay.
We don't want to be in the past or in the future so much. We want to be in the now.
Okay.
Because it's an empowering tool.
Sure.
It's also not a tool of predictions. Why? I talk about power. Again, Saturn in Scorpio is bringing the power back to everybody that is willing.
That's
It's
a key
like,
piece that is willing, right?
let's say I say to you tomorrow, I will give you, $10 million. Some people will freak out.
Right.
And some
Right.
people will say, well, I can't handle it.
Yeah, some people will say yes.
So this is where we are right
Yeah.
now on the planet Earth.
Okay.
It's like, okay, now we're connecting you back to source. You can create your dream. You can live your dream. This is what's on my website, living your dream.
Living your dream.
Right.
I love it.
Do you have the power? Do you have this foundation?
And the consciousness, right? And,
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Are you prepared?
A conscious creator. Thank
yeah.
you so much.
Yeah.
Consciousness. It's all about consciousness,
really
of course.
is, yeah.
Because you can live in this life. Yes, you have a chart. Yes, you have a north node, but you're unconscious.
Right.
So
none of that matters. If
And
you're
nothing
not,
happens really. Right?
Or you're sitting and wondering what's going on and why.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And soul astrology again is very empowering because you can understand the patterns that from your north node there is the south node. Okay.
Yes.
The south node is your past lives, what you've mastered in other time, and you enter the planet. So it's very beautiful because again, you do not have to believe it because at the end of the day, you're here on planet Earth and you still have a chart and I can help you. So you enter the planet at the exact time you set up yourself. You actually choose your chart.
Yes.
Okay,
and we're
this
gonna
is
get
not-
a whole lot, a whole lot
Right.
more into that because you're speaking about two things that most people aren't aware of. Most of us understand maybe a sun sign or maybe even a moon sign or a rising sign if you've gone a little bit beyond, but most have not heard about the north node or the south node, and I want to go a
Right.
little bit deeper into that right when we come back. So definitely come right back as we find out more about the north node, the south node with Gaia Earth Star. This episode was sponsored by Soul Purpose Branding. Put your soul into your brand. Get your business on purpose. With Sabine Messner, the wizard of Soul Purpose Branding. soulpurposebranding.com. We are back and speaking with Gaia Earth Star as she shares with us a little bit more about your North Node and your South Node, which most of us don't know much about. So here we are. Gaia, please tell us, what is the North Node? What is the South Node? How do we even find this out? What does it mean? Give us all the goods.
Well, it's quite easy to find out if you have your personal chart. Your personal chart will tell you what is your North Node and South Node. So the South Node is what you've mastered, what the energy you bring here onto Earth, that you've worked with and that you're very familiar. Okay. It's like family. Okay, it's very cozy.
Okay.
Though sometimes family can be a little
not so cozy,
challenging. But the challenge comes with the North Node, challenging you to grow, right? Okay. So getting out of the coziness,
the comfort zone.
Exactly, the comfort zone. Beautiful. So you can grow as a soul, as a spirit, as a being, and that's why you were saying, people don't really know about North Node, South Node. It is true, because people were not ready on planet Earth before. So now, people like me are being basically used to transfer, this information from soul, the soul, the oversoul, to the soul of the person. So that's the work I do. I work at the deepest level.
So, but has the information about the North and South Node always been present in one's chart?
Yes.
But it just hasn't been
It was not
much.
activated.
Okay.
A lot of...
I love that word, activated.
Yes.
Yeah.
So a lot of activation is happening on planet Earth. And astrology is one assistant, if you want, as well as other consciousness that people like me, other channel on the planet, tune in. So we bring this information to empower people, to give the power back to people. It's really what it is about, through this unconditional love vibration. And one means, I just want to mention, one means the unconditional love vibration, because a lot of people get confused.
How so?
So first, this vibration is about you, loving yourself. And this is how we create peace, harmony, and oneness on the planet, right? We are one. One needs to experience. It is nothing logical, nothing of the mind. It's everything, as your previous guest was explaining, all the chakras balances in the heart center. This is a knowing of the heart. So no need for the head.
And so you would say that, when we even just say the word love, I mean, we don't love mentally, right? We love with our hearts. We love from a deep place. And so you're saying that it's first important to love ourselves. And I think I am absolutely hearing this message so much more, and it's so beautiful, and it's so necessary, because we have always mostly been so others-centered, right? One of the, very most common scriptures is, love others as you love yourself. And I know for me, I've always had this thought that there's an assumption that we all love ourselves, but not everybody does. So there's this assumption, well, sure, love everybody else as you love yourself. Well, as you love yourself needs to be more worked on, because many of us don't love ourselves. And so we are loving others as we love ourselves, which is not necessarily so great.
Which is where the soul comes in, because the soul loves you.
Talk to us about that.
The soul, is this vibration of unconditional love. So it wants to take you from where, you wear your South Node to your growth potential as a human being, right, on this planet. I know that the reason I'm here on this planet is to help this transition.
And you're using the same word, vibration. It's the vibration of unconditional love. So again, here we have a thing about tuning in tuning in to this unconditional love vibration.
Yes.
Now you say that the North Node then is where we need to grow into, right?
Yes.
So say for a person, so I know in my chart, right? So you did a powerful, powerful reading for me, and the North Node for me was Taurus.
Yes.
So tell me of now the relationship of your North Node, where you're needing to grow into, in relationship to the other pieces, like say your sun sign. How much of a power is the North Node with your sun sign?
Well,
or rising sign?
that is the fascinating time. Each time I look at a chart, it is like, it is really beautiful to see how one person has set up themselves to really grow on this journey. So your sun sign, your moon sign and ascendant are really the three pillars. They're like a trine, it's like a triangle, feeding each other energy. And those are really important to work with the North Node. But really everything in the chart, it is something, again, I'm an intuitive, okay? So I do not need books to look at, well, Saturn is in the 8th house conjuncting Pluto. I know, it means rebirth at a deeper level. What I'm saying is that, all the planets are really triggering that North Node. Everything is working. The North Node, again, is the compass.
Ah, okay.
But what I see is that, and every chart is unique because everybody is unique. But I'm always amazed to see how the person chooses to set up themselves for success.
Right.
Because in this reality, there is no such thing as failure.
Ah, I love that. I have been saying that for years. So yes.
Again,
good.
going back to your power. So when you have a soul astrology reading, you start remembering, oh, well, I knew I could do this. That's why my moon is there. Because I was like, well, I need to go this way, so I'm going to put my moon there. This is really how it happened.
So as you get
As
a
above,
reading,
so below.
Right. I love that saying too. So say one gets a reading with you and they learn what their North Node is, they learn where their South Node is, which, correct me if I'm wrong, many folks are hanging out in the South Node, in the comfort zone, right?
So they know that one, they're like, oh yeah,
I'm really
sounds
comfortable with that one.
familiar. But then when they get to know about their North Node,
That's where the stretch.
exactly, and they realize, this is what I've been resisting.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's
so
what I
here's
found.
the aha moment, like, okay, so maybe I'm going to start to embrace that lesson.
Instead of fighting it.
Right, and then you start creating your dream. You start living your dream.
Right.
Because you have this awareness, you have this consciousness, and you know that you set up yourself, no one else did. This chart is you, this is your plan.
And it's like your map.
Exactly.
I think when we were doing mine, I said something to the effect of, there's always usually a joke about how, we don't come with an instruction manual or a guidebook. And it's like, well, actually, we kind of do, right? And it's kind of there. But many folks I know in today's world certainly kind of, look on astrology as a bit of a joke because of what's seen in newspapers and even some of the online. It's seen as a cute little, fluffy thing. Oh yeah, I'm a Libra and my rising's in this, and it's left there. But really not getting the deeper pieces of it, right? That, of course, the planets, we're connected. It's all connected.
Think, there is a lot of souls on the planet awakening, and those that are laughing, there are just, in this lower vibration of planet Earth. And everybody can shift.
Yeah.
Everybody can.
Yes.
There is no, as I said, there's no failure.
Right.
Someone can awaken just like that because Spirit said, now you are on.
And I think you made a really key point before, and it kind of demystifies this word channel, I think.
Yes.
And that is, again, we're kind of back to vibration and frequencies again, right? But that each of us is, right? Each of us has the ability, it's whether we're doing it or not, and whether we're awake and aware and conscious to do that. And one of the things that you're awake and aware to do is to channel specifically the Pleiadians, yes?
Yes, the Pleiadians have been great assistants, you know, in my life personally. And this.
How so? Who are they? What do they stand for?
Well, again,
What
it is
the
a
message?
consciousness.
Uh-huh.
So you have this cosmic mind,
Yes.
and you have highways of informations.
Okay.
Okay. You can see them as civilizations, people living like us, ETs, however your imagination is working.
Okay.
But the Pleiadians, what the Pleiadians do, again, it is a consciousness. You tune into it, and then it speaks my language. So you can hear it.
In the way that
It
you can
doesn't mean
receive
they're
it.
speaking English.
Okay.
It doesn't mean they have a physical body.
Uh-huh.
It is just a vibration I open myself to tune
You
into.
tune into, yes.
See, I open myself.
Okay.
So, so people can do that. It just asks a little bit of trust. Again, because it is invisible.
Right.
It is the unknown. But we are evolving towards this type of society, this type of civilization.
Yeah. You
They-
actually see it all over the place.
Exactly.
In movies, entertainment, Hollywood's kind of playing with it, but it's actually quite all over the place.
Right, and
Yeah.
that is, you know, just to prepare humanity. You know, you can't just like open the Pandora box.
Right.
You
Right.
know, but
Yeah.
it is happening. You know, the shift has happened, 12/21/12.
Sure.
We are still here, but the consciousness is
Yeah.
evolving really quickly.
Yes.
And so soul astrology, you will see more and more soul astrologer because it is an empowering tool.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
it is really empowering, and it has empowered me to become that channel, you
Yes.
know, get into my power and own that power and use the power of your imagination. That is what the Pleiadians really channel as a consciousness, is that if you can see it in your mind, you know, if you can feel it in your heart, it is real. You can manifest anything. But again, you have to have that confidence. You have to own your power. That is the trick.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, those self-limiting beliefs. Well,
Right.
I will be successful when?
Right.
No, I am successful now.
Yeah.
That's what the soul says.
Beautiful.
You are everything you want to be, and you are imperfectly perfect.
Yes, yes. As I was saying, there's a song that I've written called that, Imperfect Perfection.
Oh, how beautiful.
And it's just that beautiful dichotomy that's absolutely true.
Yes.
So you've just shared with us so many powerful things today. I'm so glad you're here. How can people, you know, really connect with you and be able to work with you, and what is something that people can get started even just today to connect with you?
So I can send them a mini sample relating to their North Node. And if they feel, you know, that might be something of assistance for me to create my dream, live my dream, then, you know, we can go further and, you know, schedule a session.
Beautiful.
But also you can find channeling sessions on my website and also my Facebook page, Gaia Earth Star. And it is my blessing really to bring those information to empower people, and doing so with the vibration of unconditional love, which we didn't really had time to talk about that, but this vibration is Mother Earth. So that vibration I channel from the cosmic mind, but in the heart also of Mother Earth.
Beautiful.
And as we know, the mother loves her children unconditionally. So we are rising with the consciousness of Gaia, Mother Earth, and it is my blessing to guide people, to guide souls.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Thank you so
so
much. Thank you all for being with us, and we'll be right back.